It doesn't matter if you use them, you know someone who raves about them, or you think it's all a placebo effect. Everyone has an opinion about alternative healing therapies. I'm Samantha Sampson, and for the past 10 months, I've been looking into Winnipeg's alternative healing community. According to the Public Health Agency of Canada, 70% of Canadians use alternative therapies. That includes yoga, naturopathy, energy healing, traditional Aboriginal therapies, and herbal medicines. If those stats hold true, that means there are over 490,000 people living in Winnipeg doing these therapies right now. So let's meet them. This is what a modern hypnotherapist, Hawaiian Hunakane massage therapist, psychosomatic therapist looks like. In other words, Monique Dorridge is an alternative practitioner. She's been one since 1999, and here she's singing a Hawaiian chant that asks to be filled with spiritual energy. But she hasn't always been so full of spirit.
One day when I was on my way to school, I realized I was suicidal. I looked at the bus, I looked at the street, and actually had thoughts of, if I timed this just right, and that was my wake-up call.
After quitting her teaching job, she found peace with Reiki, which is energy healing. She also practices hypnosis and psychosomatic therapy. That's where the features on your face say a lot about your personality.
Reading a face is like the headline to the newspaper. And in 10 minutes, we can tell you about 30 different things about your face. And the truth is, the headline is only the headline. So if I had the opportunity to see the entire body, I'd be able to see the story fleshed out.
Not all clients ask her to read the entire story, but some do. Others ask her for hypnosis treatments or Hunakane massage therapy, a type of Hawaiian Reiki. She's gotten many gifts from these clients and from her travels for alternative therapies, including this rattle.
And it actually had corn leaves to wrap around it. My grandchildren really liked it when they were little. And I made the mistake of taking it into a sweat lodge, and consequently the corn leaves got destroyed.
These tokens, she says, are just physical representations of her client base. It's grown so much over her 16 years that this has become her full-time job. And that's what she wants people to realize. Monique says most people get into the business to help others.
I have a client who comes in and says, I have lots of work for you to do today. And my response is always, I'm here to help you do your work. It's not my work to do your work. It would be beneficial for that message to get out to the general public that we all, no matter what modality we practice, are there to help individuals find themselves and live a better life. Yeah, in a city the size of Winnipeg, I would estimate that there are thousands of us who are doing alternative work at some level.
Thousands of people got their hands on healing crystals and rocks at the Winnipeg Rock and Mineral Show and Sale in October 2015. Expos like this one have been in Winnipeg for a long time, and a few more popped up just last year. The first was the Healing Connections Festival in August, Prairie Yogi's Prairie Love Festival in September, and then the Winnipeg Rock and Mineral Show and Sale in October. This show was put on by Jacob's Trading, a rock and crystal shop in Beausejour. Organizers say based on door prize entries, over 3,000 people came through the doors in just 4 days. Jacob's Trading held 2 other shows last year, but organizers say they wanted to go to Winnipeg because it's a hub for alternative healing therapies.
We wanted to bring the rock shop to Winnipeg and let people experience it firsthand without having to find a drive out, that kind of thing. And we're also bringing a lot of new products that aren't in our store on a regular basis, so it's kind of just a one-time to see a bunch of new products. A lot of the rural communities just aren't big enough for it. A lot of them just can't sustain it. They don't have the resources, they don't have the people. So definitely in Winnipeg there is a lot of practitioners. There is a demand for it, so obviously we want to showcase people that maybe don't have a store, or they don't have a way of getting out to the public, so it's a good way to help showcase some of these vendors that don't have a permanent store, that kind of thing.
One of those practitioners is Delia Clement. She's a Reiki master who says expos like these are good for business newbies like her to get into the field.
My niece sent me the link and I went with it, and I took a leap of faith and I got accepted, and here I am. I haven't quite started teaching yet, but I want to get more experience, and just so I know what I'm doing and make sure that I'm teaching it right. And yes, definitely, I think I'll be coming to more of the wellness fairs because it's awesome. I just want to let people know how great Reiki is.
From Reiki to reflexology, Christina Fridfinson stopped by a reflexology booth for a quick session with Stacey Lockhart, a registered Canadian reflexology therapist.
Very painful, yes it is. I'm still talking to ignore the pain.
Quick, but not painless. Reflexology is when a body part is represented in a specific spot on your foot. By rubbing that spot on your foot in a certain way, you can heal the other part of the body. Christina said the last time she tried reflexology was when she was pregnant 30 years ago. She also said because she lives in Arborg, her alternative therapy experience revolves around massages.
Living in a small community, you're limited. So, when I would get out of there, maybe like go to Winnipeg or something, I would love to have it done maybe once a month or so, or once every couple of weeks.
Healing crystals and rocks have different powers and abilities. Some help with love, some help with wisdom, some help with energy, some, like this crystal healing bowl, are very cool to listen to.
Right now it's on there. If I step away from it, look what happens.
There are many interpretations of what each stone does, but most sources say similar things. For example, these opalites are used to reduce stress.
Well, we got some sage, which is always good for smudging and cleansing.
Devin and Dustin McWilliams were feeling pretty stress-free after they bought opalites and other things at the show. Devin said 3 years ago she had Raynaud's disease, when your arteries narrow and blood flow decreases. But she says a wellness expo changed all that.
I actually walked in there with the help of my friend, and by the end of the second day, I was walking on my own. It was getting to the point where they were going to amputate one of my feet, and within 1 weekend of doing natural, just internal work, energy work, I was completely healed and turned around, and it literally saved my life.
Alternative therapies have touched the lives of thousands here in Winnipeg, more and more in the past 5 years. I'll show you how it's gone from word of mouth to webpage. Watch next week's video to find out how. I'm Samantha Sampson, and this is Meta Medicine.